Hello everyone, I'm Shodredux, and today I'm bringing you a jet fighter tutorial inspired by JohnySnake. He has a really great forum tutorial. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, here is the link. So check it out. It has all the stuff you ever need to know about the jet fighters and Battlefield play for free. Now before I go over any of the aviation tactics in this video, the first thing I'm going to describe to you is your HUD. The first thing you've noticed I've highlighted is actually your health, which is down at the bottom left hand corner. Pay close attention to that, especially when you're flying. The next set of items that I've highlighted are the actual things that you can use in the plane. For instance, going from left to right, you start off with using your heat-seeking missiles and your minigun as your default when you enter the plane. However, if you press the B key, you can switch to your bombs to do bombardments on your enemies. Also, you do have the capability of going through and pressing the X key, which is your default key to deploy flares. Continuing on from that, the next thing you'll notice is on the bottom right, your ammo count. Going from left to right, your ammo count is 2 for your missiles, whether it be your bombs or your heat-seeking missiles, and 60 for your machine gun. The last item you need to pay close attention to is your minimap. This will be able to display your enemy placements, whether it be your anti-aircraft, vehicles, or even infantry if your teammates spot them. Now that you know your heads-up display basics, we're ready for takeoff. This video is going to train you for the attack priorities with the jet and how to handle each situation. The first thing you're going to need to take out are other jets like yourself. Now, one of the most traditional ways to take out your aerial adversary will be to launch your heat-seeking missiles at him. In order to do this, however, you need to understand the concepts of how the heat-seeking missile locks on. First, you'll notice the targeting indicator, which indicates when you have your enemy in your sights. Now, when you see this indicator come up, that means you are ready to fire your heat-seeking missiles at your target. Now, if you've noticed, my heads-up display has changed just a little bit because I've switched my weapons. I've decided instead of using the heat-seeking missile, I'll go through and use my bombardment targeting system so that way I do not give away my position to the enemy that I'm locking onto him. So instead of using my heat-seeking missile, I've decided to use my machine gun to take out the enemy pilot. Now, to take out an enemy jet effectively, you need to lead your shots with the machine gun depending on the distance of the enemy pilot, so that way you can get the most effective kill out of it. Once you've mastered that tactic, it'll bring you one step closer to controlling the skies. The next thing you need to attack on the priority list is helicopters. Helicopters are probably one of the more difficult enemies to take out due to their large amount of health. However, if you aim the machine gun at the cockpit, you can take out the enemy pilot inside the helicopter without destroying it, which would be a lot more effective than actually destroying the helicopter itself. However, if you're lucky enough to fly by a helicopter that has really low health, you can take it out with the machine gun effectively. The next target on our priority list is the anti-aircraft guns. These will be the worst enemies you'll come across unless you utilize these tactics effectively. First off, you'll notice I pulled up my minimap into a full map. The default key to do that is the M key. Also, if you notice that I'm pointing out that there is a little icon that displays where the anti-aircraft are located at when they are unmanned. However, when someone is utilizing the AA, that icon will disappear off of your map, whether it be on the full screen map or minimap. So take note and be familiar where your anti-aircraft stations are located. In case you don't know, I've provided a map from JohnySnake's guide that will show you all the AA locations. Continuing on from that, the most effective way to take out the AA stations would definitely be your minigun before they take you out. Now that we've taken control of the skies, it's time to give the ground units a run for their money. And the most effective way to do that is to use bombardment drops. The concept of doing effective bombardment drops is very simple. Make sure you line up the line coming from your crosshair all the way down to the meter down at the bottom, so that way you can get the effective drop from your bombs, no matter what angle you're coming at. Once you have everything lined up for your bomb drop, you'll notice that I've drawn an even bigger red box indicating the hit area for any of your targets that you're trying to bombard. That's the most effective area to where you can do the most damage to your target that you're trying to hit. Once your target has reached this area, go ahead and let him drop. Let's take this one step further and say you're trying to hit a moving target. The first thing you want to do is take note in the direction that they're going. In this example, the enemy vehicle is driving off away from my jet a little bit to the left. So naturally, I'll want to bomb where my target is going and not where they're currently at, which is why I have indicated where I'm going to bomb at with that red box. So this would be the time when I actually would click and let my bombs drop. Keep in mind, there are other ways to be devastating with the jet if you run out of bombardment drops and machine gun ammo. That's if you're daring or clever enough. Another tactic that's really good in assisting in bombing is using machine gun strafing, which will be coming up in this example here. Now, you'll notice when you use a machine gun and you hit somebody, you'll do hit point damage to someone. Even if you don't kill somebody with machine gun strafing, which is essentially going back and forth and spraying your machine gun until you identify where an enemy target is at, so you can easily identify whether or not to drop your bombs in this location to get a kill. Even though I showed you how to handle yourself offensively, you need to know how to evade to get yourself out of precarious situations as well, or else you're going to be a sitting duck. The easiest way to do this would be to use your flares, which is the X key. To identify when you're being locked onto, you'll notice a red X on your heads-up display. Also, when this red X shows up, you'll notice that there'll be beeping sounds going off for someone trying to lock onto you. And when somebody has successfully locked onto you, you'll hear a long beep. In case you're out of flares and still have someone locking onto you in the AA, the best thing you can do is go in a zigzag motion back and forth in the jet until the lock-on stops. And if you feel a bit daring, you can fly close to the ground and use trees as cover as well from the AA. Even though shaking the AA lock-ons are hard enough, you still have to take into consideration of the bogey planes that are after you. And trying to get an enemy jet off your tail is going to be the hardest thing you'll have to do. The easiest way to do this would be to go back to your home base, in high hopes of a friendly AA taking him out. Or the out-of-bounds countdown timer will take him out as well and make him commit suicide. What also helps is if you look behind you, which is set up to be the default key is F, which will help you shake your bogeys a lot easier. While there is no surefire way to shake an enemy fighter jet, with a little bit of persistence and creativity, I'm sure you'll do just fine. Even though now you know how to handle yourself offensively and defensively inside the fighter jet, there's still a few more things that you need to know how to do. Any type of damage that you sustain during gameplay, you're going to have to know how to repair your jet. The best way to do this is to return to your home base's airstrip so that way it replenishes your health, whether you have to hover or fly by it. In case you're looking for an outside point of view, you can also press the C button, which is the default key to go into third person in your jet. Even though it's not recommended to play in third person mode, as long as you're dominating the skies and the ground units, you can get away with doing certain things. Well, I hope this Aviation's Tactics video has taught you a thing or two. So if you guys have any more questions, you need to check out JohnySnake's Jet Guide over at the battlefield.playforfree.com forums. And I'll even provide the link again for you guys. Not only in the video, but in the video description as well. Just type in my name, Shodredux, on YouTube, and you'll be amazed at some of the other videos I have as well. So thanks for watching.